All right, good morning. We're back at it with lesson number 3 today. So, lesson 3 with order of operations. This will be your last lesson on order of operations with integers, and let's get to it. So, make sure that you take a look at and complete the assignment for today as well. Here we go. We got multiplication first. We're going to multiply. That operation comes before the addition and the subtraction. So positive 4 is going to be delayed. We'll add it to whatever we get when we multiply -7 multiplied by -3, which is positive 21. We'll subtract 5 from that. So we're going to do these last two in order from left to right. We're going to add, then subtract. It's actually 2 steps. So if we have these two, that is just plain old 25 subtract positive 5. And our final answer is positive 20. Underline it, make it stand out somehow, and you are off to the races. Now we've got these fancy brackets here, these parenthetical type brackets. We're going to take care of those bad boys first. So inside the brackets, there's actually 2 operations to do. So we need to just treat that like it's its own question. We'll do them both. 5 subtract positive 6 in left to right. The -16 will be divided by whatever we get. I'm going to include the brackets for now because this is my goal for you. I want to show every single step so that you know where the numbers came from. -16 will be divided by this final integer. We take a look at this one. We have a -1 plus a -7. Those are all the same signs. So when they accumulate together, they become -8. And there's no real side work to be done on this one. I think we can handle it. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. To underline it or circle it, make your final answer stand out. So here we had brackets, and then we had to do the subtraction, then the addition, and finally for this last one we divided. That was the last operation we had left. Now here's a little interesting thing I just want you to note. This -2 times 5 plus -3, that could be written in a few different ways. And you remember one of my sayings is mush together means multiply. If we had the -2 mushed up against the brackets, then that would also be a way of being able to say multiply. Even though we don't see a multiplication symbol over here, it's understood that this means take -2 and multiply it by whatever you're left with in the brackets. If there's only one thing, that would be -2 multiplied by 5, but we have work to do in the brackets, which we'll need to do first. So let's go ahead and get to that. I feel like bringing on a little squiggly line for this one. I don't know why. We're going to do this part first. We're going to take -2 and multiply it by whatever we get from that squiggly underlined part. And remember, we're doing this first because in our acronym of BEDMAS, that's helping us to remember this, the bracket, the work to be done inside brackets always gets done first. So 5 plus -3 is positive 2. That gives us -2 times positive 2. Still see. -2 times +2 is -4. And then we're going to add on -15. And finally, we've got one last subtraction again. This time they're both negatives again. The same sign being added together is going to leave us with whatever the total number of negatives is. And it is -19. Underline your final answer. Remember, most of these questions are probably going to be worth about 4 marks each. I've seen a few of you out there already handing in your work from the last couple days. That's excellent. Some of you are showing your steps. Shout out to Atria. Atria, you did a great job showing your steps. Keep that up. You didn't get them all right, some of you, but that's okay. Just keep plugging away at it. The other thing this does, I forgot to tell you, it's not just for getting marks. When you show your steps in a nice orderly way like this, it gives you a chance to go back and see where you made your mistake. So let's just say that, for example, here I made a little mistake, and let's say I thought this was +4. So if I just make one little mistake here, I think it's +4 plus -15. My final answer is going to come out to -14, and or sorry, -11, I guess. And my final answer is going to be off a little bit. Well, I'll still give you part marks for that. And the other great thing is showing your steps helps you to see where you're going right, where you're going wrong. So have fun with the assignment this weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.